Most business owners, when it comes to applying for Chase cards, they get stuck with extremely low limits, like $5,000 or lower. And that's not enough money to run ads or buy inventory or even scale. In this video, we'll show you how to apply for the Chase Inc. Business Cash and unlock $40,000 to $50,000 in funding at 0% interest for your business. And I'm pretty sure you're wondering, how do we know this? We've helped entrepreneurs secure over $1.6 million in approval in the last 2 years alone. And most of those approvals, they have $40,000 of credit limit, business credit available to them. And for some of them, it was their very first Chase business card. So if you've been stuck with low limits and you're trying to get approved for the Chase business card, stay tuned, because this card right here in this video could be your launching pad.
Hey, I'm Susie. This is Austin. We're parents, business owners, entrepreneurs, and we love helping business owners access 0% business funding to scale and start their business. On this channel, we help you unlock high business credit cards so that you can scale, grow, and start your business.
And speaking of unlocking, let's give you a major key right now out the gate. You see what I did there? Major key. So something that you need to be aware of is Chase underwrites all of their business credit cards 9 times out of 10 using your personal credit profile based off of your relationship with them. Yep. So if you have a strong credit score, if you have no negatives in your report, if you have a strong credit mix, you have a high chance of getting funded. But that's not all. There's also something that you need to be aware of when it comes to applying for a Chase business card. And a lot of it has to do with timing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you apply for the business card the same day you open the account, you'll most likely get a low limit, or you might get denied altogether. So the key is to make sure you apply, wait a couple weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks tops. So that way you can go back and apply, and that way you can get the higher limits that everyone's always.
Hey, if you're ready to access capital and get funding approvals like these for your business, go ahead and click the link in the description and apply to work with us. We'll be excited to walk you through the process and see if we can help you get the funding that you need. All right, let's get back to the video. So right now we're going to go over some of the
specs.
Yeah, that's probably the best word for it. Specs of the card. We're also going to take a look at how to get approved for this card, and then we'll give you our strategy where we teach our clients how to get approved for the highest limit. So first, starting off with the specs. You want to hit the ground running there? Okay.
Yeah. So most of these Chase cards come with sign-up bonuses, right? Yep. This one in particular will give you $350 after you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months.
Yep.
Okay. Now, to go a step further, they will give you an extra $400 if you spend $6,000 in the first 6 months. So all in all, you'll get $750 of cash back or 75,000 Chase sign-up bonus points that you could use for travel and pretty much do anything you want with that.
Yeah, I think that's something that people don't realize. Like the $750, as you just said, can be 75,000 points. But if you know how to use those points correctly, you can get way more than the $750 value. Yep. If you know how to transfer them to hotels or airlines, which we've done. That's how we've gone to great places like Japan and Rome and Egypt and Peru, all on like Chase points have paid for a lot of it. So big fan of Chase points, big fan of Ultimate Reward points.
Okay.
What are the other specs?
So you get 5% back at supply stores, internet, phone. So if you have an office and you need to go and buy paper and printer, you get 5% back on that.
All right.
Gas, you get 2% back on that. So if your company has a car, you get 2% back on that.
Nice.
And then 1% on everything else that you buy. So if you're, grocery shopping or whatever the case may be, you get 1% on back on that. And of course, the most coveted thing on there is the 0% for 12 months, which is what we teach. That's our bread and butter.
Yes.
And 0 annual fee. So there's no fee to have this card in your wallet, which is a win-win for everything across the board.
Win. And honestly, if you're watching this video, it's because you're of the upper echelon. You understand how great Chase cards are. There are a lot of people that are getting Spark cards and cards that don't have 0% interest, and the Go Biz Navy Fed card and blah, blah, blah. But this card is fantastic, along with the other card, which is the Business Unlimited card. But today we're talking about the In Cash. It's all about the In Cash. So how to get approved. This is very similar to other banks, but there are some nuances specifically with Chase. Number one, you want to make sure you have a 700 plus credit score. Yep. You don't want anything below a 700 because you risk your chance of just even getting approved for that card, number one. Number two, you want to make sure utilization is below 30% on each card.
That's
Now, it's
key.
not something that they talk about. Normally, people say just below 30%, and you think altogether overall. No. You can be below 30% overall, but if one of those cards is above 50% or 60%,
Yeah.
and the other ones are at 1% or 2%, that's not good enough. They all need to be below 30%, but ideally below 10%. That's fantastic. The next thing is you want to make sure you don't have any late payments or derogatories, collections, charge off, any negatives on your credit report.
Yep.
But if you have a 700 plus credit score, 9 times out of 10, there isn't any of those things on your credit score. And then also you want to make sure that you have a collective of credit limits that are above, I would probably say 20, 30,000. Because a good rule of thumb is that these banks will approve you business credit 3 times the amount that you have on your personal credit.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about personal credit. I'm not talking about your car loan or anything like that. They
cards.
need to see how you handle debt. They need to see, can you handle credit? If you can handle business credit or credit limits, then they'll be confident giving you business credit. But Chase also has like a weird thing called the 524 rule. And so I'll let you talk about 524 and 230.
Yeah. So a 524 rule just basically means you cannot have more than 5 different credit cards across the board on your credit report in the last 2 years. So 24 months, that's 2 years. So within 2 years, you cannot have more than 5. If you have more than 5 credit cards, you will automatically get denied if you apply online. The only way to avoid that, guys, is if you apply through a business relationship manager, and then that's where we come in.
Yes.
We have access to those guys at the bank. They're not readily available just at the branch. That's somebody that we've made a connection with, fostered that relationship.
Yep.
And through them, we're able to bypass that 524 rule and get you guys approved for the high limits that you're always seeing online and people always talking about.
Yes, and part of that relationship, as we mentioned, is we'll get into that in a second. Let's head to the next part, which is strategy for getting high limits. So what we just talked about is how to get approved for this business credit card to get some business credit. But if you want a lot of business credit, if you have some things for your business you're trying to pay for, I would heed our advice in this next section, because this is the section that really is our bread and butter.
Yep.
So starting with, you want to make sure, as we mentioned, your utilization is 30%, but you want to apply when that utilization gets down to 10%. We don't even recommend our clients applying unless they get their utilization down to a safe amount, number one. Number two, if you get, let's say one of our clients, they call and they either get denied or they get approved for a low limit. What is something that they can do with Chase?
Yeah. So every bank honestly has what it's called a reconsideration line. And Chase has one as well. All you have to do, guys, is go on Google and type in Chase Business Reconsideration Line, and the number will pop up. You basically call and say, hey, I'm shocked at the low limit. I have exceptional credit. I've been banking with you guys for X amount. Do your due diligence. And I suspect a large business expense coming up, and the $5,000 credit limit that you guys gave me will not be suffice. Is there any way that we can increase that? They'll normally ask you how much you want, and you want to play it safe. You also don't want to be like, hey, I want 50, right? Yeah. So if you got 5, you usually multiply that by 3. Right. So you could request between 15 to 20. They'll most likely reconsider it. They'll do another hard inquiry. But again, you can delete those later on because they're business inquiries. Yes. So I've seen a lot of approvals that way, reconsidered. Or if you get flat out denied and you have a valid reason, meaning you don't have collections, you don't have late payments, you have amazing credit, they can most of the times reconsider it and approve you, even if it's just for $5,000 to get you started and not have it go into like a denial flat out.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Man, you said something I was going to comment on and I completely forgot. What was it? I can't remember. And then also something else that most people don't know is that you can shift your limits between your Chase cards. Did we do that recently, or we had a client do that recently?
We were going to do that recently, and then we've had clients do that recently. So I can expand on it a little bit more. You can transfer limits between your personal Chase cards and your business Chase cards, or business to business, personal to personal. So for example, let's say you have a personal Chase 20K Chase Sapphire Preferred, okay? But they only gave you 5K on the business cash, okay? What you can do is you can transfer 19,000 from that personal limit that you have. You have 20, right? You take 19,000 off of that and you leave 1,000 on that. And then you transfer it over to your business cash. So now you have 19 plus 5 at 0%.
Yes, that's the key. That's the key. Transferring the limit to the 0% card.
Yeah. So let's say you have another business card with Chase and, you know, that one has a $75,000 limit. You apply for this cash. They only gave you 5,000. You can literally transfer over, you know, 74,000 from the other business card that might have already expired at the 0% mark, transferred over to that new 0% business cash. And now you have, you know, 80,000 worth of 0% with Chase. So that's the beautiful part. Most people don't know that. Do that if you have other Chase cards.
See, that's awesome. Oh, I think I remember what I was going to mention earlier. You were talking about deleting increase in business cards. Most people don't realize you cannot delete it, or you can, but it's very dangerous to delete a hard increase from an open account if it's a personal card. But if it's business cards, since business cards don't report your personal credit, you can delete hard inquiries even though the account is still open if you're using it. If you do that with the personal, they might shut the whole account down and remove it. So that's a hack. It's something that we tell clients that, hey, no, you can delete the hard inquiry whenever you like. So that's something that most people don't know, because we like to make sure that we don't assume that people know that stuff. So when I get on calls and I talk to prospecting or proposed clients, potential clients, that's what I was looking for. I'm constantly sharing that bit of information, and no one ever knows it when they come on. So I want to share in this episode. And then also the best part about not just this in cash card is the stacking. This is the credit stacking part of stacking. You would stack this Chase Ink card with the Business Unlimited card, both high approvals. Now you have two cards, probably totaling up to $80,000 to $100,000 and 0% interest for 12 to 18 months. You can do a lot of damage with that, which is fantastic. And the last part, which is the best part about these cards, this is why we recommend 0% cards. We're big 0% cards peoples. We're big 0% card people. Is it's great. It's great for running ads. It's great for inventory. If you're in fix and flips, using it as gap funding. We've seen people buy planes. We've seen people do all kind of things.
E-com, that's a big one. Like Amazon FBA. Like if you're having to buy inventory from overseas, you can literally use that card for that. Trucking, we've had a lot of people in the trucking space either buy starter cars or Turo. I mean, you name it. You could do pretty much anything with these cards, and you can also liquidate them, right?
Yes,
we have a way to liquidate.
How to do that. Yeah, and you can liquidate them for as low as
3%.
3%, which is amazing.
There's other ways to do it at like 0%, but that's manufacturer spending. That's a little bit more involved. You would learn more of that if you did sign on board with us to work with us. We walk you through the 0%, the 3%, and up to 6%. There's different ways to do it.
True, absolutely. And so with that said, we encourage you. We help entrepreneurs constantly get approved for high limit business credit cards. Getting approved is like a quarter of the battle. Getting approved for high limit, we've perfected the strategy with multiple banks, regional banks, major credit unions, regional credit unions, you name it, we've done it. And so if you're interested, click the link below in the description, apply to work with us, and we would love to help you get approvals like the ones that you've seen on the screen, or maybe you're seeing right now. And with that said, we appreciate you guys tuning in for this episode. We hope it's extremely helpful. And if you agree, if you have the Chase Ink Business Cash, drop in the chat. How's your experience? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? We'd love to hear from you. So with all that said, we appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video.